Oh, I thought we were gonna have such a much longer intro. My bad. Hey, everybody! This is Unpopular View, the NXT review show. We're gonna talk about a few things here. We have Lash Legend going against Lash and Jakara. I mean, Jakara. I messed up. I totally butchered this. Hit the intro for us, please, and I could redo this. Hit the intro. I love that music. We're gonna we got people in the chat. All right, let's get this thing down so you can see our faces. Jesus, we're off to a really great start today on this review show. We're on to a really great start. But I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Poop. I botched that whole intro, so we're just gonna act like it never happened. I'm one of your hosts. I'm joined with the sensational Sabrina Estella and Maddog Kelly Wolf. Guys, how are you?
I'm okay. NXT was fine tonight. Let's get down to some business.
All
Matt,
right.
you?
Yeah. NXT was good tonight. I'm good, by the way. Saw F1 earlier with my brother. It's a good movie.
What movie did you say?
Formula One.
Oh,
with
that's the
Brad
car.
Pitt.
Yeah, that's the car movie. Okay, that was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right. Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
Brad Pitt was in it. I like him as an actor.
All right. I never knew what Brad. Not to say I didn't know what he did. I never knew. So, like, I would ask people, like, "Hey, what's a really good Brad Pitt movie?" And I never really got an answer for that. But to hear that he's been, and you're not the first person to say that in this movie he killed it. But I do want to highlight real quick because I've never seen this individual in the chat before, so I want to make sure that we see you too, Jeffrey. Um, Bleach fan 2.0 says, "I like how Blake Monroe schooled Jordan Muscle Muffin Grave. I thought it was Grace. Okay. Also says Jada. Okay. Not a fan of Jada. Says Jada the Jobber Parker got a win tonight. Good. We're gonna talk about that. We got Jeffrey in the chat too. He says, "What's up? What's going on, Jeff?" He also points out that yes, she attacked Lash, unfortunately. Yes, we're going to talk about Nia Jax. I mean, Nia Jax, when she came in, immediately came to me like, what can this episode be named? We try to have like name and titles and stuff like that so it could drive you guys in. And it was easily, keep my name out your mouth. And it was like, that's perfect. Keep Nia James out her mouth. It was so, like, it smacked me right in the face. Like, I literally have a face palm mark on my face. It just came to me like that. So good job.
With Nia Jax beat the bejesus out of Lash?
No, mine's just a lot worse. I had to put like a certain kind of makeup just to cover it. But yeah, she did get hurt. We got Zach Mingler. He says, "Happy National Lasagna Day." I didn't know that was a day. Listen, that.
Everything can be a day. Everything can be a day.
And you know what? That's great. I think that's fantastic. If you like lasagna.
My birthday is National Pirate Day, and if you go to Krispy Kreme in the month of September dressed as a pirate, they give you a good deal on donuts.
Sabrina Estella, you disappoint me because I've been doing a lot of shows with you, and you have not dressed up as a pirate on your birthday? Like, that should be a theme. Let's do that. We're going to put that. Jeffrey, I know you're in the chat. Put that as the thing on the docket. We're going to have a pirate theme episode. I'm going to have a what's that thing they wear on the eye?
An eye patch.
An eye patch.
I'm going to have that. I'm going to have the thing on the foot. Okay. I mean, you guys won't be able to see, but you're going to have to trust me on it. I'm going to dress up like Jack. Yes, and I'm going to have a hook. I'm going to start doing like this. That would be great. I love that.
With that, if you do.
Who?
You might scare your cat if you do that.
Now he's a tough guy. He's a tough little guy. He's right here next to me. He says, We got Good Chris in the chat. Says hi, Sabrina Estella and BadGuy. But we also have Maddog here. Good Chris.
Hi.
So make sure you says hi to him as well. We have Bleach fan says I like Jada, but unfortunately she just happens to be a jobber. I don't think she's a jobber. I don't believe that at all. I totally disagree with that one, Bleach fan. But we appreciate you being here. So stay with us as we continue to talk. Said SmackDown and Raw was enough for the tributes. We're going to talk about that because, yes, this was the third one. Pirate theme episode of NXT noted. Good job, Jeff. This is why Jeffrey's like the big dog in the chat.
Hi there.
And look, Good Chris says, hi, Mad Dog. See, Jeffrey's the big dog and you're the Mad Dog. And we got Bleach fan. I'm starting to like Javon Evans, but I like him selfishly. I like him to myself. Okay, so you like to keep Javon to yourself. So no one else, hands off of Javon. Real quick, guys, this is unpopular. If you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. If you're watching on YouTube, on X, retweet us, please. That does a lot of help here. And if you are on Facebook, put it in your wrestling group chats, and let's talk about some wrestling. But tonight we're talking NXT. Sabrina Estella, I botched the opening, but I want to get the blood flowing here. If I could just take 5 more seconds of your time, if that's okay with you, Sabrina, because I know you're going to do a great job and lead the way. I told you guys before we started that I've been doing some 2K lately, and I want you guys to see what I ran into this past week. So I'm going to try to I want to do content, but because of time constraints and stuff like that, it's hard to. But I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see the nonsense that I see here. Can I play this clip real quick for you guys? Is that okay with it? Everyone gets a thumbs up? All right, we're doing a thumbs up. Look at this.
Does Elmo have a fucking six-pack? That's a motherfucking six-pack.
Is Elmo?
You got 2K communities that literally make wrestlers, and they make
I
whatever.
know that. I have a bunch downloaded, but Elmo.
Yeah, there's no reason for Elmo. I haven't watched Sesame Street in a long time, so I have to ask: does Elmo have a six-pack, and I don't know that? Is there something I missed? I didn't even want to fight Elmo. My biggest beef is with Ernie. Have you ever seen this one clip of Sesame Street? Bert is trying to read paper, and Ernie just keeps getting on his nerve, and he fills the apartment with a bunch of characters, and then he leaves Bert with that. And I can imagine that being very stressful when you didn't ask for any of that. But that's that. But Sabrina Estella, please take the floor for some NXT.
Well, it started off the same way it started off Monday Night Raw yesterday with the obituary of one Mr. Real American and Hulk Hogan. And then they had the 10 belt salute. So they were paying the respects. And we know how people feel about him. Some people like him. Some people don't care for him. And there are some that are celebrating. You know who you are. I personally never watched him. I didn't know what he did. All I knew was I heard of him by name. That's it. So I have nothing to say about the man.
I feel like I
say anything because I don't know him like that. And I never grew up watching him, so I'm not going to talk about him. So,
I mean, I've seen social media, and it's a lot of people who celebrating him, and there's a lot of people who are not celebrating him. And the only piece that I got with this,
I also have to say for the people that have threatened Chelsea Green just because she put up a little thing to give some commemorance and to be respectful to Hulk Hogan, shame on you.
Yeah, no. Social media could be like such a drag.
That's why she wasn't out there for the SmackDown one.
I sit here and say this: if you choose to celebrate them, cool. If you don't, cool. My point is respect everyone's opinion. That's all. I was a fan. I was disappointed in him. I'm not going to drag this because I feel like everyone has said their piece, so I'm not going to drag it. But biggest legend, contributed a lot in wrestling for sure. But there was definitely flaws and things like that. So let's not be dickheads on social media. That's the best advice I got for you. If you disagree, that's fine. But let's not sit here. Like, let's not end friendships because of this. But I don't know. Do you have anything you want to say, Mad Dog, before we keep moving?
Yeah. I always thought, and this is how I think about a lot of wrestlers, but nowadays it actually, I spoke to a friend of mine and he says it merges together now. But I always thought there was the wrestler Hulk Hogan who did a lot for our industry and the sport and, the pro wrestling business. And then there was the person. The person was controversial at best. I've always been a fan of the wrestler Hogan, even when I was a little kid growing up, in WOF. We have something little right here. Probably won't be able to see it, but it's one of the action figures from WrestleMania this year. I have a bunch of other collectibles and stuff. I think I have a Mr. T and Hulk Hogan Funko somewhere laying around on one of my shelves. I don't know, but yeah, as the wrestler and as a performer, he was one of my favorites. But as the person and learning about him when I got older as an adult, I was like, well, I can't really, like, it's tough to say. As a person, he was not good as a person, but as a wrestler, he was one of the best.
And also, too, I just want to sit here and say, the stuff about celebrating that he died, yeah, it's a bit much. But, WWE, they paid their tributes, and that's that. I do want to sit here because we got George in the chat, and I'll let you take the floor, Sabrina, but we got George in the chat, and he said he has great news. He got a job working for Goodwill, so congratulations, George. That's good for you, man.
Hope he has better luck with that job than I did when I worked for them.
And also, too, yes, and he is a Damien. I'm sorry, I did see you, sir. He is a real fan. I mean, I've been here since 2020, and he's always been here. So shout out to Damian Jones. What's going on, my guy? He's like the original Jack Packer. When I said Jack Pack community or Jack Packers, he was like, I like that. And I was like, I'm going to run with that. We just don't have shirts because the executive consultant is very lazy. But Sabrina Estella, please take the floor.
All right. So after that, we do get Fatal Influence briefly backstage. And this is where JC does tell Jazmyn that this is basically her chance to prove that she's a baddie, that she can roll with the punches of being part of Fatal Influence. And Jazmyn says that she's got this. And then we head over to the match with Jadia Parker versus Jazmyn. And I was just happy to see Jazmyn be in the match and wrestle for more than 2 minutes. Because when we see her, she does do a little bit, but she doesn't get to do as much because of the period that she's supposed to do. A rookie, so to speak. And match was fine. There was a good back and forth, and with the hip attack, Jadia Parker takes the win. And I will have to say, for everybody that enjoys watching Miss Parker in the ring, they do all right, and they thank this one for giving her the suggestion to keep these shorts because Megan said it ring a bell that her and Jada were talking, and she mentioned how she would switch pants for the long gear, and she was like, "Don't you dare! You got something back there, show it off. Anybody don't come down on me again. You're welcome."
What do you got, Mad Dog? What do you think about this match, sir?
I like the match. Actually, I enjoyed the match. I like Jadia Parker. I think she's a great talent, honestly. You know what I mean? So I like the match. I thought it was good. The whole thing with Fatal Influence, right? We were talking about this a bit last week. They're on the edge of a breaking point. And I definitely can see it now, the way JC got mad at Jazmyn for losing and, the whole thing with Fallon. It seems like they're not on great terms for a wrestling faction or stable or teammates or whatever you want to call them. So I personally believe they're going to break up soon. Which might be best for JC because maybe she'll get a main roster push finally, as I've been hoping for. So, yeah.
JC have all the right to be annoyed by this. Like, you had one job, Jazmyn Nix, and you didn't do a good job. Honestly, if I had to rate your job, I would gladly give you I'll give you a C+ because she tried. I don't want to say an F because she didn't really fail. I will sit here and say this. I do like this for Jazmyn Nix where she had an opportunity to showcase what she can do, right? She doesn't get a lot of, at least for me. I mean, I don't know how many times does she be getting a lot of singles action. So I was able to see what she could do on her own. I thought she did fine, and I think more reps is needed. And I thought she looked good. I thought she was fine. I mean, she does a tremendous, I say Pele kick, but I was talking to the executive consultant, and I remember we were talking about who have the better Pele between AJ and Finn Balor, and I remember he broke down what Finn calls it. I forget how he breaks down what he calls it, But I mean, nonetheless, when she does the kick, it's fantastic. I remember telling Jeffrey one time we were just shooting the shit in the chat. I mean, yeah, not even chat, in the messenger and whatever. And I was like, yeah, Fallon does the overhead kick. Thank you. I can tell because no one even touched that. You know who touched that, right? Because they were immediately like, I wrote that, so let me click my comment. But meanwhile, other comments, you don't do anything. Good job. You're fired. You get an F. I'm heading F's out. You get an F. But I remember talking to Jeffrey, and I was like, Fallon Henly, she does things. And I said, Jazmyn, she just stands there. So I was glad that she was able to do something. She lost, and that's fine. She definitely let JC down. She let me down. And hopefully she can fix that and justify that, because right now I'm very upset. I'm this is how y'all don't do comments like we do on Raw. What do y'all do on Raw? I'm just answering your question, jerk. Wow, that is so nasty. Expect a text. But that's my thoughts. Yeah, okay, Jeffrey's pointing out that she doesn't get a lot of single matches. He also said she does have a good Pele kick. Bleach fan, thank you. I hope you hit that like button, that subscribe button. I hope you're enjoying the content here. But he said, let Blake Monroe handle Jazmyn Nix and finally let a real woman. I'm sorry. Who are you? Wait, I'm sorry. What? Who is this individual in the chat disrespecting JC Jane? What is this? Jeffrey, make sure this guy get an F for Bleach. I said Bleak. I'm botching all day today. Do you know who JC Jane is? I have a clip for you. Where's my clips? Okay. And it's not even JC Jane. Hold on. Boom.
It's JC motherfucking Jane.
That was Andre Chase, not JC.
Yeah, but he says JC mother. Don't even get me started on Andre Chase. Andre Chase being on my TV today set me off right now. I was having a great peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I was cutting the edges, and I actually cut my thumb because I heard Andre Chase's voice, and I was very upset. And you know what makes me more upset? There was no Band-Aids. So I'm just bleeding. I said, when did this become an AEW match? What is happening here? But Sabrina Estella takeover, because right now, bad guy here right about now. Let's go. I don't this. Oh, wait. Bleach says, I like Jay-Z, but she's being selfish. No, I think you're being selfish. Bleach fan 2.0.
He's supposed to be selfish.
And what's the 2.0 for? What's 1.0? What's 3.0? I want to know these numbers. But carry on, Sabrina Estella. You're doing a great job.
So after that, Ms. Parker talks her trash from the ramp while Fallon Henley and JC Jane do berate Jazmyn for losing.
Good.
And after that, we have Javon Evans walking and talking backstage and runs in the high rise and calls them out for not having Trick Willie's back against The Undertaker. And they argue with him. He walks away. And then he runs into this person's least favorite faction where
somebody's favorite.
Someone who shall not be named right now says it's time to meet adversity head on. And Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors need to go out to the biggest dog in the yard. And Javon says that he's about to do something similar.
I have nothing for Chase U. Nothing. I give him absolutely nothing. Mad Dog, give him a mean bark. Give him a mean bark.
Woof. I don't know.
I had a feeling he was going to bark like that.
There you go.
I gotta put some
The reason why is because I actually like Andre Chase. I don't know about you, but I like Chase U.
Chris. I want something done, Chris. I want something done. Chris.
What in the PR report? In the HR report. There you go.
Are you reporting this
anyway?
Right now?
Going back to Andre Chase, Thea Hale. I think the released TNA superstar. I think Duke Hudson. They have a lot of great stars that Andre Chase U has promoted over the couple of years. So I really do like Andre Chase and Chase U. And
Mad Dog.
Of course, JC Jane also was part of that.
Mad Dog. Mad Dog. Mad Dog, I want to ask you the heavy-hitting questions. I know you do the news and you give the heavy news.
Go ahead.
But who saved Chase U?
Yeah.
No. It wasn't yes. Who saved Chase U?
You're acting like he's going to go against
you. Chase U, Andre Chase. It's the same thing. They go hand in hand, don't they?
No, this goes hand in hand. But it was JC that saved this group. That's why I have an issue with him. But carry on, one Sabrina, because I've worked
I'm not going to get into that again because
I've worked myself into a shoot. That's just what happened. I worked myself into a shoot. But carry on, please.
I'm sorry, did I wake you up?
Discussion about why she did it. I'm not going to get into it right now. Anyways,
Mad Dog, you woke up my cat. I want you to understand that you did that. Now he's up.
Yeah, Devon Evans making his entrance and he gets on the mic. He says that he's not going to lie. Last week was crazy. Houston was on fire. He met The Undertaker and got some legendary advice. He's supposed to go after the biggest dog in the yard, and the young OG is in the ring solo. You only live once, so he might as well do it right now, right? And then Trick Williams comes in. Like, he thinks that he's the one getting called out again. He says, "Wolf, wolf, the biggest dog has arrived," and has some advice of his own for Javon.
What are these thoughts?
You don't pull Superman's cape. Try Trick Williams. Evans points out that he got choke slammed by The Undertaker. And Trick Williams says he did, but he's still TNA World Heavyweight Champion and the biggest thing in NXT and TNA, and tells him not to try Trick Williams once again. And Javon says, "I wasn't talking about you anyways. I'm going to call Obafemi." And Trick's about being disrespected again and how Oba wishes he was Trick Willie and he's going to come for the title anyways. And Javon says, "If you get in my way for the championship, I got no problem erasing your ass from the equation." Enter the high rise Trick Willie Taraj. Wesley says Trick shouldn't be wasting his there. But Javon was right to call Oba Femi.
I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Okay. No, now we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right.
But anyways, he says he's sure Javon is going to have a great journey full of championships, but it is a long time away. And if he tries Trick Willie, the high rise is going to stop him dead in his tracks. And he says, Javon says he's going to start tonight with West, and he's going to start a fight right now. And he hits Wesley, but he gets overwhelmed by all three members of High Rise and Trick Willie. And West says he's going to talk with Ava, get that match made so he can lay out Devon one more time.
I can't hear. Bad guy. This is kind of crazy. Yeah. Oh boy.
Keep rolling.
Okay. I thought this whole thing was fine. Honestly, I thought this was a decent segment. It looks like they're teasing, and I don't know. Hopefully, Bad Guy can fix his audio and come back in a second here. Looks like they're teasing maybe a triple threat match. Now it looks like, okay, Javon, Obafemi, and now Trick Williams.
No. Every time Obafemi and Trick have been in a match for the championship, it has always been with other people in it. The next time they fight, it needs to be one-on-one. We can't have it every time they do it.
I don't know.
We don't want it anymore.
That's the thing. Javon, though. That's the thing.
I'm sorry. Quick test.
Unless Javon's going to win the TV belt, where is the... Where does he fit into this? Because obviously he wants both guys.
No, he's calling out. He was going to call out Oba. Trick came out assuming that Javon was calling him out because Trick Willie thinks he's all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, no, I don't see a triple threat. They already did that at Stand and Deliver. I think it's trying to throw you off like that. And also, too, Trick got other problems like TNA, and a lot of TNA wrestlers want their title back. So
the entire TNA locker room wants to take that title off of Trick Willie. Just like the girls in the TNA locker room want to take that title off of JC Jane.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, but they're not going to do it.
That is true.
But you know, but no, I do like that they kind of give that illusion, like, hey, maybe they're going to run it back. But no, they're not gonna. I didn't think that at all. I thought even last week when they were talking about the biggest dog, I said, "Oh, he's gonna go after Ober." So it's gonna be interesting how this all plays out in the next few weeks because we have, I want to say it's Heat Wave in like 3-4 weeks. I mean, it's literally the day after my birthday, so that should be fun. That's right.
Hey,
We're gonna have a birthday celebration that day. Everyone bring tacos.
Yes,
That's
that's,
what we're
the
gonna do.
thing. It's going to be an NX taco night here on Unpopular Review.
Bring your taco. Bring
We
your
bring
favorite beverage.
tacos, we bring nachos, we bring walking tacos.
I love nachos. I don't order it enough, but nachos are great. So yes, bring tacos and nachos.
You
What
ever
else do we
make
got?
it at home or place tortilla chips with Doritos? Gives them more flavor.
You know, I saw in Subway and they made it look like these are nachos, and I looked and I said those are Doritos. People actually eat Doritos as nachos, right?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
right.
I do too. It makes them taste better.
Okay, there we go. I love George. George is so comfortable with us. He let us know that tacos give him gas. So thank you for letting us know that, because now I image you just stinking up the place after you eat tacos. Thank you, George.
Well,
Bleach
make
fan,
yourself an alternative so that you don't have that feeling when we have our NX
yeah,
taco night for this
yeah,
month's birthday.
because I'm gonna let you know right now. You're not gonna stink up my birthday. I'm gonna tell you right now. You keep that gas to yourself. But we got Bleach Fan 2.0. He says Javon Evans versus Montez Ford would go ham. I think that would be a fun
Yes,
match.
it
I
would.
mean, these guys, those
Yeah.
guys. I mean, the athleticism in that match would be crazy. So I do sit here and I agree to that. What else do we got, Sabrina?
So after that, we have Kale Dixon and Uriah outside the locker rooms with chairs in their hands, ready to attack the tag team champions. They didn't check to make sure that they're in there.
Uh,
They're like listen, I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. They're like the college frat boys that get paid by their parents to be able to go to school, but do not have the brains fully for it. That's me being nice about it. But anyways,
that was so polite. Actually, that was very polite.
Uriah takes a peek in the door. He sees them. They are arguing whether they're going to go in on the count of 3 or if they're going to say go. And then they just rush in and confront the champions. And they say they're here to challenge the big dogs. And Hank said, all you had to do was ask if you wanted a title match. We'll make it official for next week. And then they all shake hands. The Voldemort for this one rolls up to ask what's going on. And then points out he didn't tell them to beat anyone with a chair. I mean, he had a fair point. He had a fair point. They didn't need to go in there and beat nobody with a chair, especially not Hanging Tank. If the Culling had the belts, then yes, for extra protection. But with Hanging Tank, you don't need it until you get in the ring.
You know, your dislike for the Cullen got to stop. Like, what's going on here, Sabrina Estella?
You got to do what you got to do, right?
I mean, I thought this was hilarious. I said these guys are like those villains who come up with plans and like they come up with it and it explodes in their face. Because like for them to sit here and go like, are they in the room? I don't know. And then they get caught. Like when they get caught, it made me laugh because they were like, hey, is that Kyle? I'm making sure I got the gentleman's name wrong. But I said these guys are fools. And Andre Chase, and I can tell they're fools because they're underneath Andre Chase's tutelage. So I already know, like, I don't blame them. I blame Andre Chase. I think Andre Chase is a terrible teacher. I mean, if they wanted to learn a thing or two, I think you should watch season 2 of Family Guy. But that's my take. What do you got, Matt?
He could literally write it on a billboard. He could hire a skywriter. He could hire somebody with a plane to have a flag waving in the back with something be like explaining everything in detail what those two should do. They still would screw up.
You know, Sabrina Estella, you disappoint me, and I love you. You're great, but you disappoint me so much because Andre Chase, I don't think he would do any of that. You know what I think he would do? I think he'd go to the nearest casino and gamble it away. And what?
Stop disrespecting Andre Chase.
I'm disrespecting Andre Chase. I'm telling the truth. I'm sorry, the truth hurts.
Oh,
I'm sorry. There's no such thing as the Tooth Fairy. Santa Claus don't exist, and he definitely don't have a.
He was down on his luck, good sir. That's what ended up happening.
Can we please not bring this up again? I'm getting flashbacks to when I had to be the good angel on people's shoulder and defend. And this one played devil's advocate for that.
I'm the good angel. How dare you point at me?
Like I said earlier, I like Andre Chase, so
And you know what? I'm sorry for that, Mad Dog. And I wish you had some taste. And you don't worry. You continue to hang with me. I'll give you some taste. Peanut butter and jelly with strawberry milk. Hang out with me sometime. I'm a cool guy. What else do we got here? One Sabrina's. Look. Jeffrey agrees with me. Carmen, highlight a guy. Highlight that, please. Highlight that. Don't just highlight. Because it's not his comment. He's not gonna highlight it. I'll do it myself. Damn it. See, he agrees with Jack. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Here we go. What else do we got here, Sabrina Estella?
Well, we had Charlie Dempsey versus Tavion Heights. If Tavion Heights wins, he gets to leave the No Quarter Catch crew. And if Dempsey wins, Tavion has to stop trying to get out of the No Quarter Catch crew. And it was a good back and forth. We got it the first time, so this time we're getting it again. And this time we're making sure that nothing happens. Ren can't throw in the towel again, so to speak. And it was a good back and forth. I had no complaints about this match. Storyline, I'm not super into it, but I am happy that Tavion finally won fair and square. And now he has an opportunity to be on his own.
I think we all knew this was coming, though.
I mean, we all did. If he lost again, it was going to feel hopeless.
Thank God. Right?
You know, it's funny. I hear what you're saying. Like, if it happened, if he lost again, but I knew he was going to win, but it would have kind of been funny if he did lose the third time. How deflating that crowd could have been. I think a lot of people would have said, like, "Yo, what are we doing here?" But let me ask you guys this: what's next for? Can we even still call him the no quarter catch crew? Is Ren going to fight him next week to get out of her contract too?
No, I think he's too into
I love it so much now. I'm not gonna hold you. I would love that so much if she says, I'm just tired of this. Like, I'm tired of your shit, Charlie. And she just beats him, and then she's out of his because like I don't understand why these people couldn't just leave. I don't understand. Like, did he have why was he holding them hostage? Did he have some kind of like what did he have? Something on them? Did he have some way? Did he have their Google search? Like, why couldn't they just leave? Why couldn't they just leave? That's all I want to know. Why didn't he say, like, no, I don't want to do this? That's like if I have a friend, I don't want this person to be my friend, and they're like, no, you can't go. Why can't I go? I have legs. I could just get up and leave. What's stopping me? I don't understand. But please,
I think it's
okay.
I want to jump in here. If you don't mind, BadGuy, I think it's the
Absolutely.
influence of Charlie Dempsey, right? Keeping these people, as you call, so-called as hostages, inside the No Quarter Catch crew group. I think that's what it was. I think it was his influence overall, making these fake promises over the time of him being there after watching him. Now, I don't care for the story. I don't care for Charlie Dempsey. I think he's a little bitch who bitches a ton, but I think that's what it is. So
Okay, we have a couple from after the swear jar, so
Oh,
fair enough.
you got to put money in.
Look, I had to say it because that
But-
is facts.
Wait, I have an actual jar.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Here we go. Put your money in there. Jar. Yeah, even
remember all the time you've sworn on the show?
This is not about me, Sabrina Estella. How dare you? How dare you? Sabrina Estella just threw me underneath the bus and drove it at the same time.
I'm just spitting facts.
Well, I had to give Steven a run for his money for 2 seconds, didn't I?
I know. Listen, everyone give a run for his money. I'm sorry, I woke you up. I apologize. What do we have next? My cat is just petrified. He had to go there. It's like Degrassi.
I like Charlie Dempsey.
You do.
Well, what do you do? Did you run from in the store?
What's there to like about him other than the fact that he's William Regal's son?
He has really great hair.
Is that why he's getting all this attention in NXT? That makes a lot more
I
sense.
honestly, he's not even
Makes a
really.
lot more sense
literally
now. I
look
did not
alike.
know that. Wow.
He doesn't even. He honestly don't even really get that much attention, guys. Let's be real.
They look alike, actually. Now looking
In
at
the beginning, he got a
resemblance
little
now.
more attention.
Probably so, and you know what? Yeah, maybe so in the beginning. But that's usually how it is in the beginning. But now, like, he's really sporadically used. Yeah. So like, I don't feel like we get to see him a lot. And
You know
I
what?
mean, look,
He could probably get called up to the main roster and be El Gran Americano number 4 under a mask.
Oh God,
have
I hope
four of
not.
those now?
I really hope not. I missed Raw.
Wow, we have 4
I missed Raw, but I was watching some of the stuff. And shout out to the Raw team, Big Daddy Cool, and some other guy that he works with. And when I was watching these guys and they were talking, and then you see the other guy in the mask, I'm like, who's this guy in the mask? And I'm hearing this P.D. Williams, Pete Dunne. Like, we don't need all of this stuff. The Grande Americana stuff is great, but for them to just keep doing this stuff, it's ridiculous. There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't even do that. Oh, we got Jeffrey says, just called Charlie's Angel with Ren. See, Jeffrey has been on a run here trying to be funniest chatter. So good job.
Funniest UPR, and we can add that as a category for the end of the year.
Yeah, do that. I wish the executive consultant would do something for once. Seth says Charlie Dempsey would fit better in AEW.
Look how it went for his dad.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the fit would be. I think he's fine in NXT. He's not,
Maybe.
and he's not overused. Like, I really have no. And you know what, TNA, I feel like he actually did something with TNA for a period. I
think he did. Actually,
so I think TNA would be a good fit. I don't know about AEW, but even in NXT, he's fine. You don't like overuse him, and when I do see him, I'm entertained. I have no issue with him, honestly. He's not the most charismatic individual, but I feel like he's fine. Like, every now and then he got dry humor, and sometimes it works for me. So I don't know. But what else do we have here? Bleach fan says, "Excuse me, Miss Sabrina." So, okay, I want to make sure I've read this first before I read that out loud. I'm not reading that. Go ahead. What's the next thing? So I have to be careful what I'm reading here.
That I don't know if he should be booked like Val Venus. If they decide to do that, good for him. If not, I don't know. I really didn't watch Val Venus though, so I don't know exactly how he was booked, so I can't answer that question. But after that, speaking of Trick, we had him backstage with High Rise, telling them to finish Devon off. And then Wes says, once I do, I want you to use your pole to get us a tag title match. Santino walks up and says, Trick. And Trick thinks that he has some stroke, but he is the stroke in DNA.
Oh, my.
He whips out and puts away his Director of Authority badge and says that tonight he is a WWE superstar looking to win the NXT North American title from Bun Boy Ethan Page.
Wait, you said that was
that was great. What's going on, Ty? Says good evening. Good Chris in the chat says hello, ladies. That's how Val Venus used to say it. And Jeffrey is taking a good laugh. And yes, yes, Roman got Debo. That was embarrassing.
He had nothing to do last night because he had to say Roman's shoes at the end of the thing.
Yeah, he stole him and apparently kissed him too. I was like, oh.
I'll be honest, I didn't finish watching all of Raw, so.
There you go. You know, but
I stopped watching after the 8-woman tag match. I wasn't too interested afterwards.
That was a great match, by the way. Great match.
We got Mariah May Monroe making her entrance. She corrects Booker T on her name, and I don't care how many times I say this name. I will choose to say this name. I do not want to say the other one. I already know two Blakes.
Monroe, correct again.
No, not today, not tonight. Nope. Carry on.
She tells him to learn it, love it, and never mess it up again unless he wants to end up in a medical facility. Those are fighting words from a small white girl to a big black man. Anyways, now for the question that everyone's been asking. Why Jordynne Grace? And it's simple. Because JG isn't good enough. She's seen protein shakes with more personality. And she's not a superstar. She's more of a background player or an extra. And then she shows a picture of Jordynne Grace being an extra a few years back on WWE TV.
Yeah.
And she says that you can't have a champion that looks like this. And then puts a recent picture up, which it looks fine. She says that Jordynne sees her old her in the mirror, and that's not championship material. That's gym membership material. Whereas Mariah May Monroe is the kind of woman that you can build a division around, and she throws a bunch of social media posts from her days back modeling the t-shirts, because she says that I used to get all of y'all buying t-shirts before y'all were even cheering my name.
Huh.
And then enters Lola Weiss. She says that she's right. They have the deepest women's division, and you're not going to be champion of it. You want to talk about star power? Let's talk about mine. From flying to AAA to represent WWE, to dancing to Nikki Bella at Evolution, not hanging out backstage taking selfies. Enters Miss Parker. She says she keeps hearing Evolution this, viral moment that. And she don't need none of that because she's Jada Parker. And you saw what she did to Jazmyn earlier. She's not chasing clout. She's chasing the NXT Women's Championship. And Blake calls Miss Mariah May Monroe calls all
You
of them
called her
Jade.
Blake. I heard it. We gotta clip it. You called her Blake, so great job.
Yeah, I
And by
messed
the way, the
up.
chat agreed with me earlier, bad guy. So there you go.
I'm laughing because it's Sabrina. I'm
I put a
Sabrina.
slip of the tongue, and you're never gonna let that go.
Where's he
Sabrina,
singing?
that was, you know why that was funny? She said I messed up, but she literally said the correct name. But I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not. Take the floor.
And then we get Jordan Grace's music to play. Instead, we get Kaylani Jordan. She says, I'm not the Jordan that you were expecting, but you should always expect the unexpected in WWE. And we're here to talk about the future, and you can't talk about the future without talking about me. I'm going to prove that I'm the hottest thing against you, but not even on your best day can you do it like Lonnie, which you would see Jada in the back being like, oh, and laughing. Yes, I know it was too late, George. I messed up. It was a slip of the tongue. That's not going to let me let that
Yeah,
down.
you said the right name.
Anyways, Monroe says it's cute that Kehlani finally got a personality, and that I'll put you in a medical facility next week. And then he hits her with the headbutt. And then everybody starts brawling, and Lola and Kehlani get the better of them. And Mariah May Monroe clings to Jada Parker, and she shoved her away with a disgusting look on her face. Girl,
that was funny. That was funny. Real quick, I'll give you the floor here, Maddog.
It's a girl bad.
But I do want to sit here and say, what the hell's going on in the chat? Because I'm not reading it out loud, but yes, Jeffrey, I read the first thing and then said comment on it. I'm not reading that out loud because I don't know what the hell's going on. But Maddog, what did you think about the segment?
Yeah, this was this. Sorry, just the chat's got messed up here. But anyway, okay, moving on from that. This was a great segment. From all the ladies and all the women involved in this. I think somebody said in our chat earlier. I think it might have been George. It might have been Jeffrey. I think it was George though. Said Blake Monroe. I better say the name right. I don't want to get in trouble here. Is going to be next for the NXT title. And honestly, I kind of see that, but I also see kind of Jada Parker also moving up and going after JC Jane for the title. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, I really enjoyed the segment. I thought the ending was really funny. And, it's crazy to me that they moved Mariah May. Yes, I said her previous name. Yeah, I'll put some more money in the jar there. Is now Blake Monroe, and they're turning her into something AEW couldn't really do. AEW couldn't, she got over a little bit as champion, but now she's getting really over in the NXT universe, let alone the WWE universe, to where there's 100 of them being made in the WWE 2K game. I have a couple of them downloaded, by the way, because I'm a wrestling nerd like that. So, yeah, great segment.
Yeah, it was fine. I think NXT continues to show off that they have a pretty stacked women's division. I mean, when's the last time we had Lola Weiss on TV? I feel like it's been a while. So it was cool that they put her on TV and have Kalani out there, and because I said, I remember I was talking to someone. I was like, I always think it's so cool that we get some of the girls from like Stephanie Vaquer and Julia and Jordan Grace, all these other girls, and the same thing with Blake Monroe, But I always sit here and go like, man, we can't forget about the homegrown talent either. So I think that's cool that they brought him out there. So I thought the segment was fine. I don't have anything major to say about it, but I thought it was fine. Oh, I'm sorry. That's for the next segment. I'm sorry.
Anyways, we have the most boring faction in NXT right now since Schism, the culling backstage, where Shawn Spears tells Tatum Paxton that she has a Women's North American Championship opportunity against Saruka, and that they're all going to be in her corner to make sure that she brings the gold home. And Tatum is all smiles and hugs and grateful for her new family, and skips off hand in hand with Izzy, and the rest of them walk off as well. And then you got Luca Crucifino lurking in the corner saying no family lasts forever. And then Lash Legend walks and talks and says once she's done with Fallon, nothing will come between her and the NXT Women's Championship. And then we get the match. Which match was pretty good between the two of them. There was some good chemistry. We got Lash using her power from the get-go. And Fallon just fighting her off and gets to the best of it. But Jazmyn does get involved and decks her. Mm-hmm. Then getting hit into the apron a la Fallon Henly, ducks a belt shot from JC, but Nia Jax comes in and plows her over while the ref's not looking, so to speak. And then with the guillotine leg drop, Fallon Henly gets the win. And then after that, she hits a bonsai drop onto Lash, pretty much getting revenge from what happened in Evolution.
And also, too, you got to remember, last week sat there and talked about throwing Nia over the ropes and stuff like that. She mentioned Nia. So a few things about this. I had Lash Legend winning. So my original thought here was like, okay, Jada wins, Lash win. We're probably going to get some kind of triple threat at Heatwave was my thought process. And then the Nia Jax stuff came in. I said, oh, never mind. I immediately said, never mind. I like this. I don't think Nia is doing anything really on the main roster, so why not have her go to NXT?
I mean, she's already had her fun trying to beat the ever-living crap out of every woman over there. It's like, why don't I just come down here and try to beat the ever-living crap out of everybody down here? Starting with
right. And she got her rematch too. So don't forget, she got a rematch against Tiffany Stratton a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
And if I can be honest,
go down there, help out.
And I can be honest, personally, for me, I'm tired of seeing. I've heard that they really like working with each other, and that's cool. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, as the viewer, I'm like, yeah, I would like for her to fight somebody else. I feel like the whole Tiffany's whole run has just been, yeah, you fought Charlotte, you fought Trish, and then Nia a whole bunch of times. So I like this. I think this is cool. I think this is something. I see that Jeffrey was Lash against Nia at Heatwave. And I think this is good for Lash. I mean, you go do that. Let me get my thoughts together here. Her going to get someone established like Nia, and she's probably going to showcase her power and everything like that. I think this is good for Lash. It's more for Lash than Nia. Nia is going to give it a rub, and yeah, I'm for it. So like I saw he said I did not like Lash losing here. I promise I can read that. Did not like Lash losing here, but I think Lash is going to be getting her comeuppance. So don't you worry.
I mean, for this, it kind of makes sense, especially with the storyline with Fatal Influence, because if Fallon wins and Jazmyn loses, Jazmyn looks worse in comparison, and then they're really going to want to take the rookie out. But if both lost, then they were all just going to start fighting each other.
I think they were fighting each other last week, so no matter what, they're fighting between each other. I mean, I just want to throw that out there.
Well, I mean, there's tension everywhere, so at this point, it's bound to happen at some point. They're probably going to have a triple threat match to shut each other up.
I wanted to say highlight Bleach right here. I know we don't highlight it, but we do read your comments here. But he said he likes Lash Legend's energy. Lash is great. I mean, Lash is for me, she's grown a lot. I remember in the beginning in 2.0, I forget what kind of gimmick it was. It was like, snapping the fingers kind of thing. And I was like, But the stuff
that was when she had her own talk show thing.
Right. What was it, Talking Legends or something like that? I forget.
You guys didn't like that? That talk show thing she did? I
was fine with it. I didn't understand why it was happening.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of funny. It kind of reminded me of that Moment of Bliss thing Alexa did a couple of years ago.
Well, I mean, she did that because she couldn't be in the ring for a bit, so that's different.
So that's what it reminded me of, though. whole
That's
talk
fair.
show.
No, it's a talk show. You could think about Piper's Pit or the Heartbreak Hotel. What was that Jericho
Ding
one
dong,
called?
hello.
Ding
No,
Dong
hello.
Hello.
Yep,
Right.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Moment of Bliss. One of my favorites.
What was the one with Jericho had one? I just can't think of it on top of my head. I'm so mad. Like, Talk is Jericho or something. No, that's his podcast. I don't know. But my point is, a lot of wrestlers have had like talk
Bliss
shows.
with Jericho, by the way. As a Jericho fan, it was the list, and you, sir, just made the list for
I
not
didn't
knowing
make.
that Jericho information.
It was called the highlight reel. You thought you said something. You thought you cooked one Mad Dog Kelly, Matthew, Mad Dog Wolf. Let me tell you something. Right now, you are just called the grease fire of the century. Stay out of the kitchen. Let me cook. And
Well, he had a list. That's all I remember from it. That's all I remember.
That was his gimmick, kid. Just
All I remember
follow
is he
me.
had a list and the potted plant.
He did have a plant.
You know the name of the plant.
Mitch.
I know the name of the.
I know.
Okay, all right.
I was watching wrestling too. What do you think? What do you think? You're gonna school me here? You think you're gonna embarrass me here? Mad Dog Kelly, as you drink your sip of good beverage. I don't have anything in here. I'm very jealous. The plant was at. Oh, it was on.
Yes, but Billy Jericho was on it with that segment.
Who invited Bad Chris? Bad Chris with the good.
Just noting that was Jericho's idea. Not a good idea.
What do you got here next?
We had Briggs and Inamura getting into it backstage, with Briggs being mad that Inamura wastes his opportunities, and then they get in each other's faces and fight for a bit, and they get pulled apart. And Stacks tells him that sooner or later, everybody betrays you. Inamura gets mad and slaps the white boy out of him and tells him that he has no honor. I don't know what ethnicity Stacks is, but he looks like a white boy, so I'm going to call him that.
That's my laugh. Do you have anything? Thank you, said that my rant should be clipped. Thank you. That's so nice. But Maddo, do you have anything for this? I don't really have anything. Do you got anything? I'm sorry, did I wake you?
It's just I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. The story doesn't do it for me.
Anyways, we have Javon Evans versus Wes Lee, with Trick Williams being on commentary for this one. And it gave me flashbacks to when they were feuding before the high rise was a thing.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. I mean, they hadn't lost a step as far as their chemistry. I enjoyed the match, and it was a good back and forth between the two of them. Of course, Tyson and Tyreek do interfere to try to help their boy get the win, but it was not enough. So with the double jump ace crusher, he bounced his way to a 3-count victory.
I mean, I'm not surprised at this. I mean, he's the one going for the championship. I miss a time when Wesley, I mean, he wasn't always winning, but Wesley would win a lot. I miss my boy. Someone shared this on on X. I guess he said in the interview or early in the night or something like that, where he said he's the greatest North American champion. I'm like, yeah, I remember that, man. I miss those days. I felt like everything fell apart once he cut his hair. That's why I will never cut my hair. But it was fine. I mean, it was a fine match. I think they have good chemistry. I remember that match that they had at the ECW theme show, and I was fine. So yeah, it's fine. And you know, you have Ober on the big. What is that thing? I don't even know what it's called, but it's like, you know, that thing where they just stand there and stuff like that. And said Wesley is wearing Toad from Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, he got the fro again now. I don't know what's going on. I always feel like, why did he cut his hair to begin with? You know, but he got the fro. Yeah, Wesley with the fro is not hitting the same. No, it's not. I sat here. I was like, man, I would love for Wesley to go babyface and win that NXT championship. I think he could still do it as a heel. I think there's still a way, but I just felt like it's more appropriate if he's a babyface. And I'll still stand on that if they eventually do that. I don't like Wesley being a stepping stone. I feel like Wesley should. I don't know. I just don't like Wesley losing. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have the words for you guys to explain this. But I just don't like this for my guy, because I like Wesley. I think Wesley is great. I think he's the greatest North American champion. So for me, I'm just kind of like, I want more for my guy. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. And we got Chris that wears Bengay on his elbow says Dirty Dom is the greatest North American champion of all time.
I don't think so. I'll throw that
Nice
out there
to see
now.
somebody else agrees with me, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
I mean, look, I like Dom's IC run right now. I think it's funny, but it's funny at best.
The only good thing about it is the fact that he's running away from AJ like the little bitch that he is.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
You were trying to avoid to put that coin in the jar. I see you, Sabrina Estella. Bleach fan says I don't know why, but I'm excited for something, and I only highlighted that because I feel like that's so relatable because I don't know what I'm excited about, but me too. I'm
excited for Wesley. I like him. I like this match. But the thing I was most excited about this match, guys, you guys forgot to mention, and actually Wrestling Doll did bring it up, was my boy Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick was on commentary again. And this is what I gotta say: just put Trick on commentary every time because he's awesome. He's amazing. Just like my boy Chris Jericho, also great on commentary, by the way. Shout out to Jericho again. By the way, see what I did there? Yeah.
I did. My eyes were open.
He knows what I did. You know what I did. But yes, Trick
I guess
was
I did.
awesome on commentary. In this whole thing. Love Trick in that. Like he said down there in the comments. So.
I do like Seth said he loves Trick's Hill promos. I kind of I was talking to a friend as I was watching the show, and I was like I like Trick's heel work. I don't want to say his babyface work wasn't doing it for me, but I think I was getting kind of tired of it. But the heel stuff has been great. I went to TNA Slammiversary. I said this before, and a lot of people didn't like the gospel intro that he had. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, no, Trick NA. Yeah, there we go. Trick NA. Good Chris in the chat. I'm surprised at Good Chris in the chat. He says, I hate Chris Jericho and Trick Williams. Wow. Okay. But what do we got next here? We wanted to make sure.
Anyways, we had Vic Joseph having a sit-down interview with Miles Bourne. And Miles says that Lexis King is stirring the pot with him claiming that Miles is not really deaf. And Miles goes on to explain his particular flavor of deafness as being the result of being put on a ventilator as a child and losing 90% of his hearing. He says communication has never been his thing, and he didn't speak until he was 4 and had to teach himself how to read lips and body language. And further, you have to have fun with it, and you can't let people like Lexis King bring you down. You got to keep moving and block them out.
Love that. I really don't have anything to say except that that's actually very inspiring.
I agree.
And then we have Ava Raine, Stevie Turner, and Robert Stone backstage, and they give the injury updates on Ricky and Jordan and says neither of their injuries are particularly serious and that they'll both be back soon. Lexis King comes in to bulldoze his way in to accuse Miles of being a charlatan and calls all of them rude, saying there's no way he could wrestle if he was deaf, which as someone who has seen somebody who is also partially deaf wrestle, that can be proven wrong. Ava tells him that you have a match with Miles next week, and he's excited to have the opportunity to expose him as a faker. The only thing that's fake about you are your sideburns, which you basically spray paint on your face.
We got George. He says Miles Bourne is the future of NXT. That's a possibility. We got Bad Chris in the chat. He says let's talk about too much. Talking about Trick Williams, and says give Randy on a new heel stable with. Is that Matt Bourne? I want to make sure I got that right. Miles. Miles. I'm sorry. I had something blocking it. Miles Bourne and Ethan Page. I don't know.
Miles got out of a faction.
Call them Legacy 2.
He doesn't need to be in another one.
I wouldn't even try to recreate that group. I think Randy.
The only reason why they're doing that is because everyone's calling him Young Randy because he looks like Randy Orton.
But see, but the whole thing about Legacy was when they had
someone and being in this developmental brand are two very different things. So just because he looks like him doesn't mean you have to put him with him. Maybe he can wrestle one day and before he retires, but that's
I agree with I agree with Jeffrey right here in the chat, because you can't call them Legacy 2.0. See, when Legacy was a thing, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr., and they're obviously the next thing after their fathers. I don't know if Ethan Page is.
Legacy 2.0.
No, it wouldn't make sense. So you can't. I wouldn't use Legacy 2.0. I don't even like the idea. I remember there was like a rumor, I think, about Ethan being in Seth's crew. And I was like, I don't know. Somebody else like, you know, I was on the fence with that one. But with Randy, I wouldn't be doing
that.
Ethan
enjoys talking too much to be silenced by the power that is Paul Heyman.
But I do want to say, said a little fantasy booking, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how you would do it, and we love that here. So that's fantastic. What else do we got here on the docket?
So we got footage of Fatal Influence being interviewed, and they're bickering among themselves on the way out of the arena. Nia Jax commandeers the camera and tells Lash Legend that she does not measure up. And then we get to the main event, which is All Eagle Ethan Page versus Santino Marella for the NXT North American Championship.
Hold on, Sabrina Estella, before we get to this main event, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you here. You know, Mad Dog, you have some news. Are you? I should have asked you before.
I do. Yeah, I do.
You have news.
I do.
You know, while we play the, I'm so sorry. Let's play the news, and then we'll get to the main event. So, hey, Mad Dog, take the floor.
Hey guys, what's up?
I said that earlier, by the way. It's like my catchphrase, so I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so earlier in the night, we already talked about it, but my first story, I had to recap it again, was Terry Bollea passing away, Hulk Hogan. Once again, I said my thoughts at the beginning of the show. I always liked the Hulkster. He did a lot for our industry. Yeah, so it really does suck. Because like I said, as a wrestling fan and as a fan of the wrestler, I was a big fan. And I have a lot of stuff. As you can see, I have the wrestling thing. I got stuff all over. And I have one of those Buddy dolls, too. I think I sent it to you guys. Anyway, so going back, RP, condolences to his family again. I think they showed the tribute now 3 or 4 times, I think Jeffrey said so. And it wouldn't surprise me if they do something at SummerSlam for him as well. Anyway, so this whole thing with Drew McIntyre, is this a work? Is this not a work? Is Drew really stuck in the UK or not? Well, we're going to get to the bottom. We're going to break this down. So the story goes like this. Drew McIntyre posted an Instagram story the other day, I believe it was on Sunday, saying he's stuck in the UK and has passport problems. Now, one source says, PW Insider said, this is true, but they can get this resolved. Other people say this is a work and it's not going to happen and he's fine. Others do say this is real and they're trying to work it out. And then on top of all this madness, The Miz jumps into the whole thing, posting an Instagram story saying, I want to replace Drew if I have to for Logan Paul's partner. So this whole thing, I don't even know. I don't know where it's going to go, but this is just wild. It's completely wild that this is happening like 3, 4 days, 5 days before SummerSlam. And, you know, this is just crazy to me. The next thing, this was cool because we actually talked about this today. WWE is teaming up with Universal Studios for the Wyatt Six Haunted House in Orlando, Florida, and California. I actually found this out about it's actually being in both places. I thought it was just Orlando. Turns out they're doing it in California. I went to Horror Nights a couple of years ago. It was a lot of fun. So this is kind of cool that they're doing this. It will feature Bray Wyatt. It will feature Uncle Howdy. It will feature, I think, Nikki Cross and all of them. And it'll also mention The Fiend. I wonder if they're going to use any unaired or footage of Bray for this attraction, because I know they have that in the archives, I believe. So just like they did with the video game a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, the next story I got here, Cody Rhodes was considered for Happy Gilmore too, but he had to turn it down because of with WWE, it's a very rigorous work schedule. Cody couldn't take the time off like Becky and MJF did from AEW to go film this movie. So Cody had to skip out because Cody was on the main roster doing Cody Rhodes does best. So that's why Cody couldn't do it. WWE has announced a show back to Japan. This will be I believe this will be a 2-night, I think, event here, 2 shows in Japan. This is pretty cool. They went there last year, but I think they only did it like a small Raw tour. I think they're going to be bringing a Raw back there again. AJ Styles, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, Jey Uso, just to name a few. It looks like they will not be doing anything. It looks like they will not be doing anything with the SmackDown roster because it actually those dates correlate with the with SmackDown that night from San Jose, California. So that's very interesting that they're doing it. The next thing I have is a story that I found more information about today. And this is just pure speculation, but I don't care. I know somebody might have my head for this, but I don't care. Okay. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi announced that he's canceling his scheduled appearance at the New Jersey Wrestling Con this weekend, which is taking place SummerSlam weekend, and there's now big speculation that he might appear at SummerSlam. To make things even more interesting, Haku, which I think one of his sons. Remember, they have like 20 sons. I don't even know anymore. I can't keep up with this damn bloodline thing. I lost track. Also canceled his appearance, making me speculate: will we have a new wise man for Jey Uso, and will we have somebody else joining the new Bloodline 2.0 or 3.0 with Roman and Jack? That's what I'm wondering, right? Maybe. And the last thing I got here, I found out this today, is it turns out Netflix was actually developing a documentary on Hogan's life. They have over 20 hours of unseen footage of the Hulkster. They've been doing this for over a year, and it actually they were filming up to the time of his death. They were actually, and they were going to release, I believe, next year, but they were working on something and still are. It's got plenty of footage of Hulk. So that's all I got.
Good job, Mad Dog. That's all the news that you got?
Thank you. Still
good job.
Rikishi thing, by the way, still think something's going to happen there. I know a couple others are doubting.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think people are going to get ran over if he's driving. That's what I think is going to happen. Look, I hear what you're saying.
Driving the bus to SummerSlam, maybe driving the bus for Roman and Jey, maybe.
No, I think he's going to get in a limo and run someone over. He might run over a creative for not doing, taking care of his son right. I'm just saying, like he's going to sit here and run someone over and say, "I did it for Jey."
Some people have been speculating it's because of his health. If he is, I hope he's okay.
Oh, Rikishi?
I think it has something to do with SummerSlam. Just weird coincidence, and then Haku also cancels too. So just weird.
Yeah, maybe Rikishi, Haku's going to be in the passion. It seems like, yeah, brother, get this guy too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Now let's finish it off. Good job, Mad Dog. Round of applause for Mad Dog covering the news. Good job, sir. Sabrina Estella, yeah, and hopefully he's all right. Because I didn't hear anything about health wise, and anytime you hear that, that's actually a real scare, like being totally serious. So hopefully everything's cool with him. Sabrina Estella, please take the floor.
Well, like I said, we had All Ego Ethan Page versus Santino Marella for the NXT North American Championship, and it was a good match back and forth, and we get Joe Hendry making a jump scare subliminal drop-in, which was quite interesting for this match. And
I missed that. Wow.
It was a good back and forth between the two of them, and they definitely are a good combination. Both of them are a good combination of talent in the ring and bringing the humor, because they're both very good at that. And we do get a little hint of the Cobra. And we do get Ethan Page playing the role of the chicken shit champion that he is. There's my for this word jar. and puts the referee in between him and the Cobra. Santino does hold back, and Ethan pokes the eye out. And with the twisted grin, he retains the NXT North American Championship belt.
I should have known that he wouldn't drop the championship. And I'm going to answer your question, Jeffrey. I did see it, but Maddog was telling the news, and I want to interrupt. I honestly thought that Santino would win, and I was actually rooting for him to win because I just felt like TNA needs to get something. And I like Santino Marella. Santino Marella, I remember when he first came in, he was serious and all that stuff, and then he became a character, and he did the stuff with Beth Phoenix and Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of my favorite Santino Marella moments was Royal Rumble 2011. It was a 40-man battle Royal Rumble. And the last two was him and Alberto Del Rio. I'll be honest with you guys, I just never been a fan of Alberto Del Rio. And when he hit the Cobra on Alberto Del Rio, I remember I was like, oh, we're doing this. Let's go. And then he got thrown out and said, oh, yeah, right, Santino Marella.
I remember that.
But Santino Marella is great. I mean, he's really good at being funny, but he can go in the ring. He's really good at that. And I thought this match was fine. Bleach fan says Santino hasn't aged a bit. Yeah, Santino looked pretty damn good for his age. He really, I don't even know how old he is. He got to be somewhere in his 40s. But he does look good, and he still moves well. I mean, not too many people his age could be doing splits like that. So, yeah, this match was fine. I would have loved for Santino to win because then we don't have to see the peppermint belt because that belt looks hideous. Ethan Page, I understand you're representing our country, and I appreciate that.
Canadian belt.
Yeah. No, it's the great peppermint belt. That's what that looks like. I honestly, it should be a Christmas themed belt. It's the peppermint belt, the great peppermint belt. GPC.
Like I said before, when he pulled it out, it gave me immediate flashbacks to when I think MJF and/or Will Ospreay did that with belts too when they won them.
They did.
Exactly.
But it's belt. I gotta look at the MJF belt, but I remember it looking back. So I'm funny about titles. There's certain titles. Lance Storm, he did this very kind of thing 25 years ago. Funny enough, and he literally just put a sticker on the belt, and I don't know why, but that was so cool to me. I was like, he literally put a sticker on it, yeah, that's mine. Good Chris in the chat says he just saw a mouse. That is terrible. As someone who do maintenance work, and anytime I see a mouse, I ask someone to pick it up for me because I do not touch it. So I feel for you, Good Chris. And he says that Santino, he's 51. No way. Wow. Didn't think that. I thought he was
what? Santino Marella's 51.
Oh, wow. That'll confirm. Bleach fan is random. We like you, Bleach fan. We want you back here more, but we don't want you asking about people's fart stuff. But bro says, bro, where's Tommy Dreamer? He's in TNA. What are you talking? What do you mean? He's not Waldo.
That's what you looks like now. It looks like.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You got me laughing like the Joker. Where's Tommy Dreamer? Like he's lost. Do we need to put him on a fucking mailbox? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cat.
We all tipped into the swear jar today, so we're all leaving.
Where's Tommy Dreamer?
Fun fact, I actually met him once.
Woo!
Fun fact, I met him once, by the way.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't be surprised that Naomi has a caution strap for her championship. She was the first woman to have a customized belt on TV, so it wouldn't surprise me if she got that again.
Oh, my bad.
Anyways, after the celebration for Ethan Page keeping the belts, we go to Tony D sitting alone in the restaurant. A server hands him wine, and he tells them, "You don't have to call me the Don anymore. Tony D is fine." And he opens his napkin and puts it in his lap, and a shadow falls over him. And then looks up at the camera. It's over. And that's how the show ended today.
I never watched The Sopranos, but this gave Soprano vibes. I think that's how they actually ended the series and stuff.
I did see a clip of the ending that was very similar to how the show ended.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay. There we go. So Jeffrey has sources here. He said that was Omos. Omos was the one who did it. Good job, Jeffrey. I don't know who your sources are. Jeffrey's been feeling very saucy and giving us some sauce. So good job, Jeff. I don't know what's going on here, but you know,
I
you watch
do.
NXT. Oh,
I do.
okay. Matt's feeling saucy. What's the sauce?
Okay. All right. Fine. Put me on the spot. You do that a lot. I noticed that. Anyway, so
I do.
I've
I do.
been
I'm great.
I've been a big supporter of Tony D'Angelo since the NXT 2.0, since he came in, since everything, as you maybe guys know or don't know. Been a big fan of him. Okay. I even put him as one of my champions in the NXT GM mode, or GM
Oh,
mode.
God bless you, because I play GM mode and they don't like anything I do.
Yeah. But anyway, going besides the point, he's finally getting the main roster call-up I've been praying for. At least I hope this is the case, because I've been saying it for weeks and weeks on the AEW Elite Heat show. I've been go check out my previous segments over there before I joined this show. I've been saying it for over 2 years that Tony D'Angelo is going to go to the main roster, and I've been just praying to the wrestling gods it happens. And hopefully it's going to happen. I hope. I just do hope he's going to show up on Raw or SmackDown somewhere. They basically killed his character off so he can go on to the main roster finally. So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I did like the main event match. I thought it was funny, by the way. You guys didn't get to me about the whole main event thing, so you want to comment on that too. Like the main event, thought it was funny. I just didn't really see the point for my boy Joe Henry making the appearance or non-appearance. I don't know what that was, but okay, I guess. But overall, I like the match.
No, I'm so sorry. I wasn't I hope I wasn't being disrespectful or laughing, but Bleach fan he's cracking me up because I haven't heard the name SREOS in so long. For someone to say, but seriously, WWE needs to find SREOS. Like, is this man lost? Do we need to put him on the yellow pages? Y'all know what the yellow pages are, right? Do we need to put him on
the back of a milk carton?
Oh, I want someone to Photoshop that so badly. Like, have you seen this? Oh my God!
Have you seen Tommy Dreamer?
Have you seen Tommy Dreamer?
Showing your ages, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the end of NXT.
Oh, please tell people where they can find you. Oh, please. Oh shit, Sabrina, tell them where they can find you.
Tell them what now?
I'm so sorry. Tell people where they can find you, your YouTube and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, besides our things that we do on the side, there is plenty to watch here on the Unpopular Review show. For instance, we have the Mike Knox show for the intelligent wrestling fan, as well as the Raw. Oh, I apologize. I guess it's not.
He's a colleague and a friend of ours. Please check him out when you can. Mike Knox is a friend and a colleague of Unpopular. Please,
I do want to give him a shout out. He helped because we use YouTube TV. That's how I watch NXT. So shout out to
I get notifications for invites to be part of it, even though I can't because I'm still working around that time. So that's why I say that. But anyways, we have the Raw review show after Raw goes off the air on Netflix. You have us, the NX Trio, who talk all things NXT after it gets off the air on Tuesdays. Tomorrow, just like every other Wednesday, we have All Elite Heat with Cactus Katie, the Sheriff, and lovely old Vinny, as well as the SmackDown Penitentiary with our wardens, the Zia Silent and Vic the Mark, on Sundays. And we also have our entertainment channel where we do discuss TV shows, movies, game shows, things of that nature. Maybe play a few games here and there. Maybe we'll get some WWE 2K footage on there at some point. We'll see.
Elmo with the Elmo clip.
You know, I have a really good clip of me punching Nick Cannon in the face. Maybe I'll play that next week for you guys. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But we all do our own thing. I have my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go throughout Central Florida and occasionally South and record matches and put them up for the world to see. I did just share a bunch of matches that I did get to see before and during my week down in Miami while I was there for SuperCon.
I just want to show my son. Everyone say hi to my son. But yes, he's adorable. He broke glass in the house today. I honestly thought Stone Cold broke into my house, and I realized he knocked down some glass. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You broke stuff. But I do a podcast. It's called The Big Pop Side. Where's Tommy Dreamer? But I have a podcast. It's called The Big Pop
That's a
Side
good
Podcast.
episode.
We did Invasion last week. We did a recording for SummerSlam 2000. I'm going to try to upload it for tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure, but we reviewed it. It was a fun time. It's fun reviewing some of these older shows, and one of the shows I would love to shows obviously, but pay-per-views I would like to review is NXT. I almost said Stand and Deliver, such a habit. But NXT Brooklyn, the very first one, that was 10 years ago. In August will make 10 years. It was actually the day before my birthday. I felt like such a fool for not going to the Barclays Center. I remember watching on my iPad, and I said, "Wow, I stayed home the day before to lose in Mario Kart. What a choice did I make?" But we're going to try to upload that, and we want to do a prediction this week. I know that Mad Dog, you do predictions as well. I'm going to talk to you and see what time do you do it, so that way we don't do it at the same time. And SummerSlam, it's 2 nights, so it's just so much. It's 2 nights. Like I got to take a nap for stuff like this. So that's really the stuff that we're doing so far on YouTube, and we're hoping to review night 1 anyway of SummerSlam on Sunday and upload it later before SummerSlam night 2, because I know night 1 we're supposed to all link up together, and it's going to be a long night. So it's going to be a lot of wrestling this weekend. So I mean, please let me. Okay, we'll do George. Jeffrey. I'll make sure to give you a heads up about it if you would like to watch it. And since it's 2 nights a minute, I think there's some really good stuff on the card. I think there's some fun things. I'm not gonna say every little thing. I think the TLC match is a bit much because there's like 6 teams. I don't think we need that, but they wanted to make up because that WrestleMania, and they didn't have SmackDown tag team. That was a sin. But I get that you want to make up for that, but 6 teams seem like a bit much. But hopefully that match can, there's some magic there. So that's all the stuff you can find me at. Mad Dog, do you want to say anything? Because I feel like I was talking so much.
Yes, couple big things. This week, this Thursday, I'm hoping 9 p.m. is our time. Might have to change that. We'll see. It depends if I go to an indie wrestling show or not. There's a lot around this New Jersey this time of the year. There's so much stuff going on over here. It's crazy. But we will be doing the Unpopular Review SummerSlam 2-night prediction show. I don't know how me and Big Daddy Cool want to break this down. I don't know if we're going to do one night and then the next night. I don't know how he wants to do this. I don't know if he wants to do, like Thursday and then do it Friday, or just do the whole thing. But there's a lot. And I'm going to SummerSlam next weekend. Very excited for PLE. Gonna get a lot of content for the channel here. And looking forward to it. But yeah, you can find me on my socials, Maddog _ Maddog, Twitter, Instagram. Find me there. And also make sure you follow Unpopular Review, because I will be posting a lot of content, because I will be there both days at SummerSlam, as well as the prediction show we're doing 2 days before SummerSlam. So make sure you tune into all that this week. It's gonna be a lot going on for us.
Yes, Jeffrey. Yes, he meant this weekend, not next weekend. What the fuck, bro? Anyway,
swear jar. I get that out.
The cat has a foot fetish.
Well, he has the swear jar in his room, so
you have to put it some.
I don't understand why this cat always attack my foot. It's ridiculous. But that's all the stuff here we got. Real quick though, we want to say to you guys in the chat, you guys are awesome. I always want to make sure that before we leave, because we love talking wrestling with you guys, and it's a good time. And some of you guys are just hilarious, because I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, where you can find me where Tommy Dreamer is at. I don't know. I'm gonna be using that all week. So you guys are awesome. You guys are he's very lost apparently. But you guys are awesome. You guys are great. Thank you for continuing support on Unpopular Review. Please watch AEW Heat tomorrow. Apparently I'm going to be on. I don't know if that's a good idea, but the bad guy's going to deliver, because that's all what the bad guy does. And the answer with your question was, Jeffrey, yes, I was upset. I love Nia Jax, but when you interrupt JC Jane, you have. I'm not going to say anything to Nia Jax. I mean, she could kick my ass, but I was I felt very disrespected. So to answer your question, I didn't like that. But guys, we'll see you guys for next week. Tune into AEW Heat tomorrow, and be well, be safe, and eat tacos and be well. Oh, play the fucking